Commence primary ignition.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Historian Kenji here. Played Cad Bane on the Book of Boba Fett on Star Wars Disney Plus. You're watching the Virtual Cantina Network. Have fun.
Thanks, Dorian.
Hey everybody.
Howdy.
Welcome to another week of the Virtual Cantina Skip Along. I'm Spencer. I am the co-host to Skip. With me is Dave, who's the co-host to Skip, and Jeff, who's the co-host to Skip, and introducing your host, Skip.
Hello there.
The Virtual Skip Network.
The Virtual Skip Network. He's all over the place, everywhere you turn.
Can't get away from him. He's even going to be on next week. Poor Adam.
Rebels.
Same Skip time, same Skip channel.
Indeed.
Hey, welcome to week 3 of Ahsoka Revisited. We're very excited to have everybody with us tonight. Another great episode. Very excited about this. 4 of us actually going to be hanging out or chatting and talking about that. But first of all, Skip, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been enjoying myself today. Had a lot of work, got a lot done. Excited about watching this episode.
Yeah, it's definitely another great one. And writing Chewy, we have Jeff. How are you, sir?
Good. This is going to have some good little space battle stuff going on in this episode. Spoiler alert. If you haven't watched it, I feel sorry for you listening to us.
Don't ever watch the episode for the first time while we're on. Don't ever do that.
Yes, absolutely. And we got Dave. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. It is a fun frigid. I busted out the hockey jersey. I actually wore this to work because it's, like 16 degrees here.
Oh, my goodness.
So I was like,
no, thank you.
What better time to wear the warmest jersey that we have today?
There you go.
Absolutely. So much great stuff happening here on the network. Thank you, first and foremost, to JT and AJ for having me on last night on the Nerf Herders. That was actually a lot of fun. And thank you, everybody, for watching that. But check out Jeff's new shirt. He's got those loft cats. They're pretty cool.
3 loft cat moon.
Rocking the loft cats.
So appropriate. I just got it in the mail. They dropped it on my doorstep right after I got home. And I'm like, okay, that's going on right now.
Nice.
Are those loft cats getting fed?
Well, these ones, I don't know. They're a little flat. But, I think the loft cat can handle himself. He doesn't need to worry about Sabine being around to feed him.
The ASPCA does not have to step
Early
in.
or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yes. But there's a lot going on the network. A lot of good stuff. Dave, what's going on the network currently?
Well, like Jeff said, it's all Skip all the time. Skip is going to be on with us next week, or actually before then, we have an episode of Jedi Archives this weekend. You guys are talking about more comic reviews, and then Monday we have a watch along, I believe, with Rebels Revisited with Skip in for MVO.
Yeah, they're backing up an episode because Mark got out of order a little bit, so they'll be watching episode 11.
What? The Google Doc was incorrect?
No, the Google Doc was correct. It was the brain of the Google Doc administrator who put him out of order somehow. So yeah, he's we did 12 on Monday, and this coming Monday it'll be episode 11 of that season. I think it's season.
So it will be Rebels Revisited, the prequel.
Yeah.
And
Not that, it's going to matter what order we watch them in, because it's one of those shows where you can kind of jump around and not really lose yourself.
No,
least-
would you say they skipped one?
Oh,
Uh,
when they backed it up and reversed it.
right there.
boom, kaboom.
Wow.
Well, at least we're watching the show this time, because last time I had to go head to head with
Yeah.
Mark Van Olen.
You handled yourself really well on
You handled
that.
yourself
No
very well.
It
show.
was.
No show. I was like,
I would have been like, wait, oh, okay. And then you were just
I had
like,
5 minutes of
boom,
research
boom.
before I got on the show.
No, it was great because there was like, who could do it? Dave's like, can you text Skip? I'm like, yeah, let's text Skip.
Don't watch anything.
I had the
Mikey,
post-it
Mikey,
notes out with the little notes on here, so I could look down and go, there's my little cheat sheet. Okay,
Yeah.
here's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, well.
And Skip's so good. When Mark leaves him a cheat sheet, or when there's a Google, Skip reads it.
He had it all of 30 seconds before we went live, so
I had my phone on and I was going, okay, what's on?
He-
Okay, we're going to talk
he
about
barely
this.
got that info before we were live was the amazing part. So he was reading it as we were on.
As we were going through it.
Very
No, it's
cool.
all
But yeah,
good
we
stuff.
got Rebels Revisited. We have the usual Tuesday night watch along with all sorts of shenanigans and fun. And then Daughters of the Galaxy is back next week.
Oh yeah.
Daughters of the
Excellent.
Galaxy is back up, and followed by Sunday, the following Sunday, we're going to have another episode of the Unifying Force. I got to talk to Kat and Gio. I've got some ideas.
Is there anything special going on next week for the watch along?
Actually, yes, we have our favorite Rhodian, Don Dinger, is going to be joining us.
Nice.
Ooh.
Part
So
4.
I'm excited about that. Here are some more stories about, legacy effects involvement with Ahsoka, which is fantastic. And also, it's a nice segue because Dawn is one of the first 4 people that we have announced for our Scum and Villainy meetup in California this coming July. It's hard to say. I can't believe it. This coming July. With more names to be announced in the coming weeks. But yes, Bus 2 is selling very quickly, so get on that if you're interested in that. And we got some information coming out hopefully very soon, imminently, if you will, on what is going to be happening when we are in San Francisco. We might do a little bit of whale watching.
We're going to Alameda to see the nuclear vessels.
Yes.
We're going to hang out on street casuals and spread out and look casual.
Look casual. Spread
Yeah.
out.
Well,
You look like a bunch of cadets.
we
We're going
might
to ride the part around and give the Vulcan death pinch to people who are playing their radio too loud.
Hello, computer.
Movie.
Yes.
And apparently, Dobman's not in the chat because he's
there's Mark Truex.
Correct. Yes.
He's been watching our shows.
Oh,
It's taking that long.
long time no
Love
see.
the Hawk
We are here to do nothing but hawk the track. We are going to be on a sci-fi extravaganza in the city of San Francisco. There's track hawking to be had.
And I have to say that I did show Mark my button for the family vacation, and he loved it.
Excellent.
Yes,
Hey,
no, but
Jason.
You got to
Go to
look at that from
StreamYard.
far away.
Jason needs to connect his StreamYard to
and
Facebook.
there is the governor from London.
We have a duo of Trek haters.
We have more viewers than Resistance has ever had.
No, we're very excited about the trip. It's going to be a trip of a lifetime. For those who went on the first trip, that's actually where I physically met Dave. We all physically met Dave and Skip.
Physically.
Yes.
In person.
And it's become, we've all become family. We're going to have a lot of great people. It's going to be a lot of fun. great meetups, great sing-alongs, great shins abound, if you will.
That was the first place where we realized how tall they both were.
What?
Yes.
We're only this big on the screen.
Little Brady Bunch window to do you justice.
Here's the thing about that, which is the funny thing, is that I always knew Skip was tall, but I didn't realize how tall Dave was until we went to Chicago for Rich's memorial. I'm like, I don't remember him being this tall.
Apparently, I grew, or I was sitting down a lot in Florida.
And
Jeff
Dave
is
is
tall too.
slightly taller than Skip.
Not quite as tall, but tall-ish.
Yes, but
I
no,
feel like I'm freaking.
a lot of stuff we're very much looking forward to. And, if you're interested in joining us, like I said, tickets are still available for Bus 2 if you'd like to join us for that. And, meetups at cons. I mean, let's talk about cons for a minute. MegaCon, holy crap. They just announced Daniel Logan. They add some more, actors around. They subtract.
How they house all those people? There's so many people on those guest list. It's like they're taking up all the hotels anywhere near there.
Yeah, MegaCon is ridiculous. I mean, I wouldn't know. Like, I'd have to be very.
I mean, right there, MegaCon is you've got Ewan and Hayden. Boom, right there. That's a con right there. But then you've got Hiddleston. You got, the Back to the Future main cast. Like
Entourage. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You got Thelma and Louise.
Princess Bride.
Short Round. Data. Mr.
Or if you want to know him as OB from Loki.
If you know him from OB and that's all you know him from, you're too young.
Oh, and Scooby said that the stars of the VCN.
Okay, we got to put that up somewhere. We got to figure out. That's on my list.
Throw those on a quick graphic we can load in there.
Scooby, you know when Scooby is in on the joke, he's got a lot of free time.
Well, Scooby is under 4 feet of snow at the moment.
Yes. Hey, Gary, how are you? I did see that.
What do you got going on at Fan Expo Cleveland there, Gary? Tell us what's up.
So he's got the Ahsoka crew, and he also got the My Name is Earl people. So he's got Jason Lee and Ethan Suplee. Though I did say to our friend at Informa, in MegaCon, you do have Shannon Doherty. I don't understand why you don't have a photo up with Shannon, Jason Lee, and Ethan and call it a Mallrats trio. So,
and they've also got the Clone Wars crew too, wasn't that?
Yes, they have Ashley, Matt, James, Daniel, and D. Bradley Baker.
Yeah,
and then you have Tim, the elusive Tim.
Man,
Rack, Stack, and Packed. Going to be a good time down there.
Oh yeah. Oh, and what about this? You got Norman's favorites. You got Paul Bettany's going to be there. You got obviously Alan Tudyk.
Notman's going to be in the front of that line.
Knight's Tale.
Seriously, you need a Knight's Tale photo op.
Are there pops for that?
No, surprisingly not. I have an 8x10 that I've been waiting to get signed by the two of them. Ming Na. Yeah, Ming Na is going to be there. She's actually doing a panel with Tim, Daniel, and one other person I saw. They put the schedule today. Oh yeah, they announced Natasha today for AwesomeCon, along with Hayden and Rosario.
You could just spend the entire next couple of months circling the country and just awesome Star Warsness.
Yeah, we have
in California this summer.
Okay, I think right there, it's time to invest in the VCN Airstream.
Yes.
Before the family vacation at Comic Con Revolution out in Ontario, here the Inland Empire here in the LA area, is going to be the 4 from Ahsoka that have been making the rounds. And we don't know who else will be added to that, but I'm sure there will be some more between now and then.
And Fan Expo Boston's actually in June this year, so that'll be interesting. They haven't announced any names yet. I think they're waiting until after MegaCon to make the first announcements. And then you have GalaxyCon the same weekend as San Diego Comic-Con, but yep. And Daniel Logan's going to be there. Don't feel too bad, Skip. I know that you had something to do with
that. Maybe just a little.
But I'm amazed that other cons are running that same weekend just because, a lot of the talent, if they're going to be advertising or trying to get somewhere in that it's the biggest con in the world, how many people are actually going to be there available for, anything really.
What's interesting about Comic-Con San Diego is that a lot of people come in for half a day. They fly in and out from like LA up here, and they're not there for much longer than a panel and maybe a little bit of autograph signing. So they could be jumping around a lot. Like they could be, in San Diego on Friday and then be at another con part of the weekend.
Well, so look, Ashley jumps cons in a weekend.
Yeah.
She does a bunch of jumping. I think there's some jumping she's going to do coming up soon. Hopefully it turns out as planned. And I have a reservation for a couple weeks from now for a meetup in Disneyland. We'll see what happens.
So
she's been advertising that. She's been putting it out.
Coming.
Yeah, she's that's not so much a secret anymore. What is it, the 27th and the 28th?
Yeah, so she's doing the Florida meetup, and then the next morning, literally flying out, going to the West Coast and doing the West Coast meetup.
That'll be pretty cool.
Naman just posted out part of the Ghostbusters Afterlife cast is going to be at MegaCon as well.
Oh, wow!
See that. You have at least one member. You mentioned Stranger Things earlier, I think, John.
Yeah.
And you have at least Finn Wolfhard double duty there.
Yep.
So.
And I think I think we got an announcement this week that Ernie Hudson's back on the con circuit. He was announced for Steel City.
Correct. I did see that. And McKenna Grace seems to be like jumping into the circuit like full force. This is like her third or fourth con she's being announced for this year alone.
Wow.
So some good stuff.
It'll be a good year.
Oh yeah, and Kellen Lutz was announced for Rhode Island for all you twihards.
I don't know what you're talking. I don't know who that is. I
know that your wife and your daughters are twihards.
That's entirely possible. The wife and the big daughter for sure.
Right. Well, your youngest daughter's dead to you for calling you old, so.
Yeah, there's many things with that one.
You didn't appreciate your light on as many levels as you did either. That's kind of
no. But yeah, and she is a vampire person as well, not a twihard, but she's the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, she was. Excitement was abound last Raleigh.
Yeah, I heard Frakes canceled Orlando.
Cancellations. They announce them and then they cancel. Like
Tony Danza in 24 hours. They announced a dual photo op between him and Alyssa Milano, and then not even 24 hours later, no, he cancels.
That was just the craziness.
He bailed on Samantha.
But very, obviously very excited about that, and a lot of opportunities to meet up with the virtual Cantina family. But also, we have quite a few of Facebook users in here. Dave,
That one.
what should they? We should shun them. How do we shun them?
We will not be putting
No
forth
Facebook shaming.
any of the people that are Facebook users in the comment. No, we probably won't.
This
you
one.
should do it so we can give you the actual credit, people.
Yes. This one is individual named Mark that is not Truex. So he may want to update his.
Well, you mean the program director of the Virtual Cantina Network, whose birthday was yesterday?
See, well, we'll let him slide since it was his birthday, but still, just visit that little website at the bottom of the screen. It'll come back around here in a second, and click on the link, and you're good to go. StreamYard.com/.
It's really easy to do, but no, we're very excited about that. But I have to ask, Skip. You've been jumping in quite often. Do you feel like you're getting a flow? Getting used to being in front of the camera and being animated and showing your intellect.
I don't know about showing my intellect, but I've been enjoying it, having a good time. It reminds me back of the old DJ days. I did time in nightclub DJing, and then I used to do the wedding DJing too. So it kind of brings me back to that. It's a good time. I get to talk about Star Wars. I get to hang out with my buds. It's just been enjoyable, and I kind of like this because I get to bop into, okay, we're doing a Ahsoka watch along, and then I'm talking Rebels another day, and so it's just a little fun and tasting everything. Get to see people like Chris Bartlett and.
I'm sorry that you have to deal with just me, Dave, and Spencer instead of having somebody along.
Anybody on tonight?
Oh, you.
Anybody on? Yes, part of the guest.
That's actually what Jeff put in our private chat this morning. He's like, "Is anybody on? Skip? Does Skip know?" We talked about it on Tuesday. He's like, "We talked about it. Didn't mean that it actually happened."
I wasn't sure if it was confirmed, so that was.
It was confirmed. Confirmation for today. Confirmation for Monday. If you guys got anything planned besides those two, you need to let me know.
I didn't want to push you into having to come on tonight since you were already scheduled to be on Monday. So.
But he was on 2 shows last week, so.
I was worried about I didn't see a full cast and crew on Unifying Force, and thought,
It's like, what? Why am I not the third?
I could see Dave going, "Hey, Skip, what you doing right now?"
What are you doing? Let's go. Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, I can see
that.
In the
truck? You got your phone with you? We're on in 15 minutes.
But also, before we start, we also have some great new merchandise up on the Virtual Cantina TeePublic. Dave, talk about the new shirt, the Daughters of the Galaxy shirt that came out a week or so ago, within 5 minutes of the.
If you say anything on air, you better mean it, because there will be a shirt within minutes, if not hours. So we always enjoy the freaky, the furry, the funky Force shit, y'all. So make sure you get your Daughters of the Galaxy shirt, and you can join in the private joke. It's so much fun for anybody who doesn't speak the Arabesh, and even more fun when you run into the person who does. And get that to go with all the rest of your Daughters of the Galaxy t-shirts. I think one of those got discontinued, but the most of those are still up, as well as our Huyang clan. Huyang ain't nothing to force with. And then Huyang is, of course, for the younglings. Is go get that and just, go hang out with your hip hop friends and wait to see how long it takes before they get it. What? That's
because you know that all of us nerds have a plethora of hip hop friends.
That's right. There's, well, I'm sure Jeff has met Snoop. Come on, Jeff knows everybody. He's like, have I?
Well, Snoop is 6 degrees of Star Wars because he was not only dressed as the Mandalorian for one of his music videos, but he's Mercedes' cousin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
Cousin. First cousin. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Oh, hold on, friends. We got to stop. We got to wait. Breaking news. There were new announcements. They just dropped new guests for MegaCon. Like,
oh crap!
A big crew of guests for MegaCon. Dang it!
Okay.
oh,
Jesus!
Crew. Wow! Look at all these people that are
I
not.
need to update my photo.
Yeah, I was about to say, where did you feel that? I know that photo, but I know where it come. I was on a Treco at the time.
Wait, wait, that picture of Notman looks like the picture that was with me, Notman, and Amanda when I was in Florida last year.
Very possible.
You know, you don't put anything online that you don't want Scooby to find. I'm just saying.
Why does Kat look like she's in the movie The Room?
Because Kat is all day. So yes, no, but of course, indeed, we jest. There will only be select few of the virtual Cantina crew that are actually showing up at MegaCon Orlando. Probably some of those that will be there, though.
There'll be a handful of
will
them.
be there.
Hey, I finally did get my Hu Young shirt.
Ooh.
Nice.
I got my Youngling shirt. I was rocking it this week.
Well, there you go.
And Skip got his fluffy shirt.
Bridget she was rocking that one. Oh, that cracks me up.
Oh my!
Where's Mike?
This is the one.
This is
so yeah, we got about 2 minutes before the episode, but we're gonna be watching part 3 of Ahsoka. I'm very, I'm loving watching this again, especially after we watched it, and also, having some of the guests come on as well. But it's been really good. It's been a fun rewatch along, which has been great. Not sure what we're doing after this, but we'll figure something out.
Well, we have a lot of things. Is we actually had a discussion about this in the Unifying Force after show that there, so some new Star Wars adjacent movies that they're bringing into canon that will be very interesting to talk about. So I'll get with you about that later.
Sounds good to me.
But yeah, so people start getting the D+ all queued up. We generally stop right on the little pew, the Disney deal
where there should be a lightsaber, but there is not for whatever reason.
Yeah, you're watching the Disney Channel.
Absolutely. But get that in there, get it all queued up and ready, and we are going to begin very shortly.
And we got a whole slew of more guests coming in the next couple of weeks. That's going to be a lot of fun. And one that's going to be pretty hilarious. We'll announce it next week, but it's going to be a hootenanny, if you will.
Hootenanny.
Hilarity will ensue.
Yes.
Fun
Very,
time.
very excited. I'm excited about all that. I'm very excited about everything we're doing. We have another great year. And also, don't forget, we will be at ICCC in Nashville this October. So if you order your tickets now, use the code VCNICCC, get 10% off your tickets for the weekend.
Oh, mercy. Absolutely. Go join us. Like ICCC, Skip and I hit that one last year, and that was a fun show. I cannot wait to see what their theme and what their guests will be, because I think they try and do it all the time. Is there's like a theme to their guests. Last year it was the Rebels voice cast, and then in addition,
Daredevil.
and then Daredevil. Yeah.
All right, we ready to go?
I am ready.
Well, let's cue it all up.
I'm queued, and here comes the countdown.
Don't skip the recap. Watch the recap.
Don't
Skip's not-
don't recap the skip.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah,
unfortunately,
Mark.
as Mark said, Freddie
Well,
was-
Mark was there with us too, except Freddie. Freddie had to cancel that one, but
Yeah.
the vast majority of others were there. Well, in addition to the Emperor himself and John Rhys Davies and
Right.
Spencer Wilding, a number of other people as well.
So Notman's stating that he's going to have some issues with the Shin Hati scenes. So yeah.
Uh-huh.
I love that meme. You're not as cool as Shin Hati with a cigarette on a speeder.
You mean the picture that I got signed today?
Yes.
Yes.
You, Mr. Virtual Cantina Network.
Shin Hati
Well,
the Hawk.
Anakin didn't finish your training. Maybe, you wouldn't get your butt kicked on a regular basis if he had.
Ooh.
Plot
Yeah,
armor.
it's one thing about Sabine in this series is she seems
Not as tough.
under prepared for a lot of the stuff she gets into, where it seems in the animated series Rebels, if you've not seen it, she's much more kind of on top of things.
The bomb.
Hey, it's Ray from Canada. How are you, sir?
What is going on? Oops. Yeah. Hockey in your
Oh,
honor.
yeah. Shin Hati's going to be in Ocala Comic Con. So, not me, I was just saying,
Where's Ocala?
in Florida, by Orlando.
Aha.
Did anybody notice that, Sabine is wearing skids or hammer pants?
Yeah, I think that was a big thing when this episode aired.
See, I'm excited to watch this episode because, the others were great that we had guests with because those episodes were kind of a little bit slower.
Right.
There was a lot of introduction and building, but having the guests to explain everything there was great. I love this scene right there where you see into some of the Jedi training where it's like Huyang he can replay where all your lightsaber strikes were. He's got like the data out. He's got your statistics.
I love how you
Well,
can see exactly where you hit or struck through those dummy things, whatever they're called.
Well, he's doing a full-on Grievous. All we need him to say is your kendo stick, make a nice addition to my...
There you go.
Yeah.
I wonder if he knows General Grievous.
I don't know.
He's related.
They were assembled, in a neighboring alcoves.
And my good high school friend, Oliver Mancebo. How are you, sir? All the way in Hollywood, California.
Yeah, is
You don't have to go far to run into somebody that Spencer went to school with.
There you go.
Seems like
So
he runs.
That is true.
Disney World.
He's sitting there, it's like,
In one room. I was like, what the hell?
wait, but I can't see with the blast shield down. Oh no.
How am I supposed to fight? Your eyes will deceive you. Don't trust them.
Don't trust your eyes.
There you go.
You notice the blast shield kind of looks like Marek's face?
Or Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
This thing is a little bit more smooth, isn't it?
okay.
Snake
Yeah,
Eyes, one of the versions really has the real version. I'm talking about like the comic book and the real version of Snake Eyes.
That's based off of real world stuff, sort of like that.
But yeah, that does it looks like a kendo helmet.
Yeah, but what's that symbol up on the forehead?
That I don't know.
Oh, so Oliver just said Zatosh training blind samurai? Interesting.
Zioichi.
I do find it interesting that they are using real, like, this was it, Boken, I think is their saber shaped blades as opposed to more lightsabery shaped.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting that the material, that they're wood versus, metal or some other type of thing.
Well, or even like energy, because I
Yeah,
think weren't we told that in a lot of the legends books and maybe even some canon books now that younglings would train with like powered like lightsabers with low batteries essentially.
Mhm. So they wouldn't do damage, but they would have a similar feel. What's interesting to me is how much those sticks look like the dark saber just in general, with the blade shape, and then that weird kind of veining or like lightning effect across the blade.
Well, yeah, it looks like it's got a hamon on it even, and
also you got the circle that we discussed last time, that kind of the circle from Mask of Zorro.
yep.
Mhm.
Well, traditional I suppose fencing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Trippy trip.
Down there, so why don't you just press the button and have the table go up?
That'd have been funny.
Yes.
But they're in training mode, not snack mode, so they don't need the table.
Overall, Natasha did a really good job on this character.
I enjoyed her character. I thought she was fine.
But we'll see how they evolve in the next season. That would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And also bittersweet, since we don't get any more Ray Stevenson.
Yeah. I just flip back and forth. It's like, yeah, nobody's going to be able to make that character like he was. We won't get to truly see how it would have developed. But on the other hand, how do you have that show with him sitting on that mountain and not have his character involved?
Yeah, exactly. It's like he can't just disappear.
Yeah, you made that character too critical. He's got to be in the next series.
Yeah, they have to finish his arc or something.
So this is kind of cool that we got to see Mon Mothma.
Oh yeah, we're kind of crossing over. This kind of could this be the bring Andor into the Filoniverse movie?
Possibly, but
I like how the design of this room is similar to other sort of briefing room type things that they've used.
Well,
also like,
go ahead.
Jedi Temple one. Oh, we got a frozen Spencer.
also there was film of Rey being used.
See, that's what I've been saying all along. Is that's why that ending got a little weird, where Shin and
like they recut it or something.
Where they disappeared for a while and it wasn't exactly contiguous before you see it. Is maybe there's footage. That's what I've been hoping, at least. That's my headcanon. I don't know if it's true, but
I was looking at this
before. We said before, we'll say it again. Cass's father's a dick.
I was looking at this briefing room, and of course, you're looking at Mon Mothma, and it reminds me of Return of the Jedi, when they're talking about going after the Death Star and sneaking in onto the Endor moon, and it was a very similar room with one of the same characters.
Yeah, but like I said, is I'm wondering if there will be any sort of way to bring Andor into that culminating Filoni movie. I mean, obviously, some of the people no.
Well, isn't this taking place after Return of the Jedi? So Andor.
No, Mothma, yes, she continues, but like Cassian, obviously not really so much.
No.
But there are a number of other characters in that show. Like, could we see Lutheran go forward?
Right. There's a possibility for sure.
Oliver's saying it's the same room. So that's, I mean, you can see the benches there that they could have been sitting on. So that's very.
Yeah. I think there's been people like comparing the shots, and it is very much the same.
Death Star coming up out of it,
Right.
Like
That's why I found it weird that they had the holograms around the table instead of like on the table.
I mean, I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead, as Hera, but honestly, I for Mona Flowers, like green face paint.
I keep thinking of her being the bad guy in Sky High.
Yep. Or as Mockingbird in Birds of Prey too.
Nobody saw that movie. That's like less people saw that movie than saw Resistance.
I have to say, I have not seen that movie in its entirety.
See, that's what I'm saying right there.
And I'm somebody who usually goes to all of those movies.
Okay, so this is kind of cool. We had the first live incantation of Jason Sandula.
Yeah, and he just brings up more genetic questions about the world of Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
See, Mark Von Owen saw it, so there's two people who saw it.
Okay, I didn't say it was not awesome or awesome, but nobody saw that movie.
Mark Trex.
That's hurtful right there.
There Be Whales is kind of hard to beat.
Mark
Indeed.
Throwing punches.
I mean, how many times can you say that? There be whales.
There be whales.
Oh God, there'll be whale joke every 5 minutes when we're in San Francisco.
Computer.
The computer. I love that scene.
Talking
keyboard.
Wait.
How do you know that he didn't invent it?
And he typed that so fast.
Exactly.
Is she doing sake shots?
That would be
well. They're definitely very heavily relying on references to Japanese culture.
Is that a family cup that she's got right there? Sorry.
Oh, there you go. What is it? Sabine is drinking the Karen water.
Love how Ahsoka's like.
Well, and see in the dinner scene on Naboo, Anakin's like, I'd get in trouble for this, and Ahsoka's just like, no, I need the remote here.
Yeah, but you also notice that, like, other than killing, like we talked about this last night, other than killing Mace Windu, everything that he did, from slaughtering the men, women, and children of the Sand People to floating a pear across the room, made Padme swoon.
Yep, riding that flea out in that field in Naboo. All that fun stuff.
Yeah, one of those.
Kind of look like the brain bug from Starship Troopers.
Yeah, got a giant butt. That's all I remember.
Well, and if you missed it, we're talking about Revenge of the Sith, and that if you missed the last episode of the Unifying Force, we were answering some viewer mail where we took an anonymous member of the group asked some questions about Obi-Wan and Anakin's last moments there in the duel on Mustafar, and so we kind of answered that. So you should go back to the VCN and check that out if you missed. Was
it anonymous? Air quotes.
No, it was really an anonymous member of the group. I don't know who it was. I wish that they would come forward and mail us on the Unifying Force. Oh, because we have an email now. If you have ideas for the Unifying Force, topics, questions, criticisms, right there. VCUnifyingForce@gmail.com. Send us some mail.
Okay, so here's the second instance of them showing us, making fun of us. right here, you have Sabine trying to move a cup, and at one time or another, the four of us have tried to do that, probably in the same room, but it's besides the point. But still,
I
Yeah,
can
but
successfully get
one place that it
more
will
than-
always work for me, and that's going into the grocery store.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was just saying.
Well, see, that is how it is all of us, because even you've seen, I think was it on Graham Norton or some other places, is that Ewan has told the story that he does that when he goes through an automatic door.
Yes.
Yeah. How can you resist?
Somebody needs that on TikTok. We need that in our life. Somebody, that goes to the same grocery store as Ewan.
Yeah, where's that surveillance footage from wherever he lives?
And I still love the story about him pulling up about the kid that's driving too fast, and he starts giving him a hard time. And he goes, the kid's looking at me like, it's effing Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Exactly.
I love how
Blah 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 blah. Whoa.
oh, we lost a Spencer. Oh, here he comes. That was quick.
Okay. I'm playing the part of Spencer.
Ooh.
Oh,
Dave's
I
playing,
had her. You took him out.
Dave's playing the part of Skip.
Oh, having too many cooks in the kitchen, as it were. Anyways, hey, you're back.
Just in time for
Space battles.
space
Part that-
battles with little snub fighters and things.
Is her name really Shin Hottie?
Avert your gaze.
I mean, come on.
Okay, that was, of course, Dave just messing with people.
Yeah.
I love the look of a lot of these
All the
fighters.
teenage boys in the world,
Well, I think a lot of these were, who are you kidding, teenage boys? 40-year-old man. But anyway, but a lot of these kind of are based on, I think, real airplanes. Again, what George would do is
Exactly.
her fighter reminds me with the big forward engines, like a plane I think called the GB.
It's got a very World War II kind of fighter plane
Didn't
look.
the P-40 have a big engine like that?
So the P-40, it wasn't the two on the pods out to the side. The GB that I'm talking about was more of a stunt plane that was from later on, and it was purposely not well balanced so you could do crazy acrobatics, aerial acrobatics.
But,
See, I do love how Doctor Who here is unrecognizable as Hu Yang. The voice is modulated enough that it's got that kind of sass, but it doesn't take you out of the world and going, hey, that's Doctor Who.
I mean, we talked about this before. It's when we were at the Ahsoka panel in London, they said to Filoni, they're like, hey, who does the voice? And he didn't even say David Tennant. He's like, oh, it's the Doctor. And the whole place went bananas. So it was everybody knew exactly who he meant when he said it's the Doctor.
I was the only person there that didn't know that.
like the Doctor.
I am not a Doctor Who fan.
Dude.
Not that I dislike it. I just never got it.
Yeah, I'm not a Doctor Who fan either. I am aware of Doctor Who, but I am not.
Yeah, my daughter-in-law.
What if they tricked us out and it actually turned out to be like Matt Smith?
It is,
Great Sabine, don't get cocky.
Oh yeah, my knowledge of modern Doctor Who is kind of down. Is my favorite Doctor is Fourth Doctor, and that's aging and been a while. The dude with the big long scarf, Jeff.
Tom Baker.
So like curly hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm aware of them, but I'm not familiar with them.
One of the days of Rhode Island Comic Con, Mark actually cosplayed as a Whovian.
Oh yeah, he has his sonic screwdriver in his outfit that's Doctor Who-ish. I know about sonic screwdrivers for some reason, but not
Just
really.
catching up with Mark's dissing of my lack of Whodom.
Now, this skip is the kind of thing you need for your show right here. Is you need to discuss and analyze the architecture of this ship. It's like all this big archy dooflotchies and
There's
look
a
out! Look out at the end of this year. Brand new show on the Virtual Cantina Network, The Architecture of Star Wars, hosted by Skip.
Here we go. And as I mentioned before, it's like, yeah, I have no idea how they built that one. It's going to be a
you
lot.
don't have to know how they built it. You can, discuss how that would translate into real life. It's like a unifying force, but for architecture.
I'm gonna need some kind of screen, like they do in the sports where they draw on the screen, so I can draw going, see this right here?
there you go.
Um,
Annotation software is not that hard to get.
I'm relatively certain that Jeff or I could make that happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just walked into the doo-doo.
And
I
I don't know.
am pinning myself into a corner.
You see the comment there from the program director?
There's the
Yes.
dude.
But I do like the way they tie this in. Is the controls, even though this is very different, they've got those clear, the circular with the star map things and all that. Now
Well,
this
as soon as you see this
wild.
thing, you immediately identify it as a hyperspace ring, just a really
Yeah,
big ass one.
I have in the other room in the hallway. There's Anakin's or no, it's Obi-Wan's starfighter in the ring, that the 3 3/4 inch toy ship version.
Yeah, it was like, hey, I think I know what that is,
Oh,
but it's a really big one.
look
You know,
at-
when the Jedi Starfighter's wings are spinning like that, it kind of reminds me, if you remember, the ship in JJ Star Trek with the red matter.
it does. That's
does.
the Vulcan ship from the future.
Yep.
There's a
Well,
lot
and of course,
going on.
the way this giant hyperspace ring is, it reminds me a lot of the concept of the Dyson sphere from the James Doohan episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It gives me a little bit of like what is it, B-wing vibes, where they show them changing orientation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But,
Oliver, it's very much like the Halo ring, but I think the Halo ring was actually in the Return of the Mandalorian in the Book of Boba Fett.
Well, that was that like
And they're still using, I love this, they're still using like hot rod motor sounds for the
fighters layered in there. Yeah, well, if it's
All the pod racing type stuff.
Matt Wood's doing a lot of homages to Ben Burt for the most part, which is really cool.
But
And
how about
here's
this?
where it goes off the rails.
You mean you can't believe that this space show has something semi unbelievable in it?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about being in space and shooting lasers, and you're upset because this doesn't seem real.
Yeah.
Hey,
It is a little off the wall.
It could have been worse. They could have been trying to get a deflector disc off from the board, trying to make it a full beacon.
Kanan did this in Rebels all the time. They would protect the ship.
Yeah.
This was
out there on the outside,
straight out off of Rebels.
I really wish that Ahsoka's outfit would have been more like the one from Clone Wars, though, where her and Anakin are in like space outfits with giant bubble heads. I have that in the other room too somewhere.
You just said something interesting. Space outfits. Would they just call it outfits?
Well, here's also the thing: is
in
a lot of this, the Mandoverse and the Filoniverse here is explaining and making the norm things that happen in the sequel trilogy is this thrown in there to make, you know, Leia's force flying more of the norm?
Yeah, it does sort of normalize a lot of. They've been doing that sort of retconning, as it
They're
were.
justifying somehow Palpatine.
Well, let's look at this. They moved the Thursday night release of Mandalorian to Wednesday before the Rise of Skywalker because they wanted to show Grogu doing the Force heal before Raiden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had to have people buy into it before they could show her do it because they would have got.
Come on, Mark.
And Admiral,
Mark.
there'll be whales here.
There we go, Mark.
Yeah.
Truex is sitting at home just dying to say that.
Where's Drake at?
Where's John Drake?
And then back to there we are, back to
right now.
the classic like Anakin communicator mouthpiece, tiny.
It's the one covered with vulture droids.
Oh, I don't want to do it that way.
You know, for somebody who is just basically a hollow shell full of Night Sister magic, he knows how to use a lightsaber. He can fly a starship.
He's got some skills.
I mean, I am slightly disappointed that this wasn't like this would have been a really cool vehicle for Ray Park.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all about like new people in the franchise. That's cool too, but that, you know.
I mean, who knows what, you know, as far as, you know, his involvement with Lucasfilm at this point. I mean, he's just getting back on the con scene after being gone for a couple of years. So
Right.
It would have been really cool if it was Darth Maul in that outfit, though.
Ooh.
So actually, Paul Darnell, who is the actor stunt double for Marek, is actually one of the 4 that won the Emmy last week with JJ and Lateef.
Oh, excellent. Well, see, that would be the thing, though. Is he, you know, that would have gone off the. I think people would riot if somehow Maul returned again, because he's pretty definitively gone at this point.
Well, since he
Well,
was dispatched.
you know, Rebels. Yeah, you're right. He is definitively gone at this particular point.
Yeah.
But I'm still waiting. I mean, the comic books are great for about, you know, following the Empire and all about Kira running Crimson Dawn. I need.
Oh yeah, no, in the Crimson Dawn in that era, of course. But yeah, we want to see more Maul. But at this point,
yeah,
Rebels definitively killed him. He is gone.
Yeah,
I would love to see them, you know, come back with something associated with the, you know, the end of Solo. Have Rey and the character back in action again, or at least, you know, doing the Book of Boba Fett type treatment or something.
Yeah.
So did Notman pass out from the Shin Hati scenes yet?
Probably.
Now, doesn't this planet with the trees and the red tops remind you of the planet in JJ Trek 2?
Mm-hmm. Where they jump off the cliff and hide the Enterprise in the ocean.
I wonder if they borrowed some stuff from, since it's the same, possibly the same effect company.
So I was watching it before here, and I think we need to do a future watch along of Last Starfighter.
You know, what's really
a very long time since I have seen that
is right before you put that out, Bridget had been like, I need to watch Last Starfighter again, and had found it somewhere where she could watch it.
There you go.
Aaron was watching it, and I saw it on Facebook. I'm like, damn it, I had to go right into my DVDs and go start watching it.
Cursing him for
Hunter. You got it.
It's good.
We
It
gotta
is
do
so
it.
good.
I would drop a spot on that one for for Last Starfighter.
Mm-hmm. That'll be
And-
one of the
And my wife will be in the other room watching it.
coming up. Movies we love for February with Valentine's Day.
Night of the Comet.
Under the Rainbow.
There we go. See, that movie is weird, but it has Carrie Fisher in it, and it has a lot of cool little people. And
Is Kevin in that? Is Kevin in that?
I think so. I'm not positive. But it also has Chevy Chase, which is cool. Carrie and Chevy together.
Speaking of Kevin, how about that
I love
meme?
how there's no wind anywhere else except in his cape. Nothing else moving. But
guy
Kevin,
behind
how about that meme of Ewoks versus Predator, and they actually chose Churbay as the Ewok of choice?
my money's on Chukatrock.
I just saw that meme again tonight. Was that you, Spencer, that put it up?
Yeah, he posted it earlier.
Yeah, both of these are owned by Disney. We're just waiting for the battle.
Yep.
There we go.
Well, another great episode, directed by Steph Green. There's been some really good female directors in Star Wars. Between Steph Green's done a great job. Bryce has been absolutely fantastic. I'm intrigued to see where the Rey one goes. See how that plays out. I mean, yeah, there's some controversy right now, but when is there not controversy in Star Wars or things that we like?
I do have a feeling, like David mentioned earlier, that there's something that they held back that is story Ray footage related and or whatever that they can kind of maybe stitch into the new season to hopefully
Carrie Fisher on
his character.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this is not their first rodeo. They have gone down that road before. There is a precedent for.
I really wish that instead of doing what they did with Carrie, that they would have actually switched up the. I mean, it would have required a lot of stuff going on. But if they would have let her pass right after that movie where they were done, the rap, what was it, episode Last Jedi?
Yeah,
and had her pass then in the movie as opposed to in Rise of Skywalker.
I'm just telling you, is if they had made the Holdo maneuver slightly more meaningful.
Oh yeah, the Organa maneuver,
and then that was Carrie at the helm, and let Laura Dern do the other stuff that Carrie ended up doing in the other movie.
Right, exactly. They could, yeah.
And give it up for Shauna.
Woo.
Amazing work. All of her stuff is so cool.
She's the one person. I wish I met her in London because she did a panel in one of the offshoot rooms, and I wish I had time to go over there to see it.
Well, so much of the stuff that we talked about tonight was like her influence in doing. We were talking about the visors and the Japanese influence in the costuming and the hammer pants and the forearm shivers. Like it or not, make fun of it or not, that's a conscious decision and an homage and putting it in there.
Undertaking, seeking out all that stuff, and then applying it to
the Merrick costume with the visors, hearkening to the medieval kind of knight stuff, and then going back and not creating the wheel again, not making a new little communicator thing for Shin and her ship. It's like, no, let's go use the ones from like episode 2.
As you should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same. Well, it's not that far from in timeline wise.
Well, we were talking this a little bit last night. Is that right now? What's hot is anything prequel era. Because we talked about this ever since Celebration 2019, with the love that Ahmed got. The prequel era has been getting a lot of love in that time, because right now I would have to say, is the renaissance of, because the kids.
Let's not get carried away, Dave.
the rest, the kids of the prequel era are the parents right now.
Oh yeah.
So it's their Star Wars that we're looking at. So they're catering very much to that demographic.
Well, there was a lot of layers of the onion that could be peeled off in the Clone Wars. There was so much storytelling, so much stuff to happen, and we had such a small development of the Anakin Skywalker character into the legend that he was, that they needed somewhere to create that legend so that it would become more believable. And I think you go back and you look at the prequel era, you're talking about developing that Anakin legend, and it really has a greater significance. It supports the stories that we've been told that we're now just getting the inside scoop on.
Yeah. So, all good stuff, but another great episode of Ahsoka. Excited for next week. We got Don Dininger coming back with us. Once again, Don will be one of our guests at the Virtual Cantina's Boon to East Special Edition live from Scum and Villainy in Hollywood, California. Very excited about that. Jeff, you want to talk a little bit about that since Scum is your local watering hole?
About the event or Scum and Villainy in particular?
All the above. Why not?
Well, the event is going to be fun with the 4 announced guests already. Chris Bartlett, who was here recently. Don, who will be here next week. Leilani, who's always around and more than welcome to join us anytime she'd like. And Misty, who will be great to see as well. But at Scum and Villainy, which is the amazing Star Wars themed or space opera themed bar in Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard with a lot of famous stars right outside the door on the sidewalk. The Walk of Fame is actually Hollywood Boulevard, so they're on the Walk of Fame. Anyways, it's a great bar. They have a lot of really cool things going on in general, and one of them will be this the event, the special edition of Boonty Eve, coming up in July 29th, like the graphic said. And it's going to start getting filled out pretty soon, and I think everybody will be very amazed at what it ends up being. So it's something you're not going to want to miss out on. And again, it's at Scum and Villainy, so just that is gravy, having the event at an amazing bar like that. They do a lot of cool stuff, and I think there'll be some fun stuff that we'll be involved with besides just the the great guests, the autograph guests, etc. There's going to be a lot of cool photo ops and things, and it'll be a lot of fun.
And if you've ever gone to a virtual Cantina event, whether it's a meetup or our Boon to Eves, you know that we don't take the theme of a traditional party lightly. We take it, and then we take it and go to next level. Yeah, Oliver says it's a wretched hive.
Indeed.
Scum.
How far is Scum? Because you said it's on the Walk of Fame. How far is it from some of the Star Wars stars?
Well, the majority of
Walk of Fame is big.
Yeah, it's a good. I don't know. If you look at the Walk of Fame website, they'll tell you how long it is, because it's actually a T.
Yeah.
It's Hollywood Boulevard and Vine Street, and it's Vine Street for like 5 blocks maybe, and it's Hollywood for at least a half a mile, if not longer. And both sides of the street, tons of stars. Last time I was there, I was taking photos of some of the ones that are right in front of Scum, but they're not Star Wars related. The Star Wars related ones tend to be kind of clustered. Well, let me take that back. Let's say the big 3, 4, 3, I think, Han, Luke, and Leia are all right at near Hollywood and Highland, basically near where either the Chinese theater is, or specifically in front of and next to El Capitan, which is Disney's theater in Hollywood. Mark's right in front of El Capitan, like right in front of the box office. And Leia's like, or Carrie's right up the block, like a half a block, closer to where there used to be a Hamburger Hamlet that George was eating a hamburger at for lunch one day, and noticed the huge crowd across the street to see a little film called Star Wars, and was amazed by the turnout. But yeah, so a few businesses up is Carrie. Right in front of the El Capitan is Mark. Across the street, I believe, is Harrison. Probably in front of like the Kodak Theater, near the Chinese Theater. It's not Kodak anymore, is it? It's the Dolby Theater. I hate the way they change those things. I like stuff like the Chinese. It's always going to be the Chinese, even when it got bought out by a different company. It may not be Grauman's Chinese anymore. That was Mann's Chinese.
You always laughed every time I call it Grauman's. Like, yeah. I love that you call that.
But yeah, so they're kind of clustered around Hollywood and Highland. That's sort of nearer to one end of the length of the Walk of Fame, as it were, because Hollywood Boulevard's much longer than the Walk of Fame stretches, and Scum is closer towards the other end, maybe halfway to 2/3 to the other end of the Walk of Fame. But I didn't look at the photos, but there's a few cool notables in front of Scum and Villainy, and a lot of people that you know the name, and you're like, I mean, there's a ton of, I mean, that thing's been around for 70 years, or if not more.
So it looks like right near Scum, or on that same block, you have like Mickey Rooney.
So Sid Grauman is right in there.
The Pointer Sisters.
Bob Newhart's right in
front. Carlo Esposito. Giancarlo has a star on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just got it recently, didn't he?
So Giancarlo is on that same block right there with Scum.
Right. Well, Bob Newhart is right in front.
Fay Ray.
And he was a Jedi.
Sid Grauman is also in what, Big Bang Theory?
In Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin is across the street.
I mean,
Harley is across the street.
Tons of notable contemporary stars, and a shit ton, excuse my French, of old ass stars that you would. I mean, I see names that I have no clue who they are, and might have a slight inkling based on the icon, because each star has a different icon based on what they're getting the star for. Movies, music, television, whatever. And some people have multiple stars, so they have different icons on each one.
Right.
That's cool. Looks like Ronald Reagan is across the street from Scum.
Yeah, there you go.
The actor?
Huh?
I share a birthday with that fellow.
And who's the vice president? Jerry Lewis?
Yeah. Might as well.
Anyway, I think we're hilarious right now. But yeah, we hope you will all join us in California this summer. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of us are going to be hitting San Diego Comic-Con right before, because we're crazy like that. But, then we got this incredible trip. So hopefully you'll join us. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll be a gas. Come out to the coast. We'll have some laughs. Literally. Dave's going to be quoting
out to Tatooine. Yeah, no, that.
Dave's going to be quoting that scene is like quite often, I think. We're all out there. But no, we're very excited about that. But once again, Skip, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Enjoyed it.
Of course, blur filter doesn't.
Oh, that's you in front of the Nakatomi building.
Nakatomi.
Yes.
Right on Christmas time. Anyway,
very cool. Very cool.
We're ending the show.
Well, it's excellent. So, Jeff, anything you want to say before we close out?
No, I'm not going to be here next week. I just remembered. So maybe Skip will join us one more time. I'll be seeing Joe Satriani and a few other guitarists, G3 show. So that is basically all I needed to say.
Cool. Excellent. Glad to know. Dave.
Yeah, just check out the programming that's coming up this week. Is that the Jedi Archives on Sunday is always great. If you're looking for more content, different content, the High Republic stuff is where they kind of concentrate on and can give you all the information on like where to weed in and jump into that sort of stuff. And then join us live next Tuesday, man. Come on, some more people jump in and live on the Zoom with us. We want to see you, and you can ask your questions live and in person, and you know, who knows, maybe you can become the next Skip.
And we also do talk about a lot of stuff that people are not privy to on regular on that.
That is the truth. There are some special spoilers that happen on Tuesdays.
Things get reviewed there quite often by many people in this.
We workshop a lot of stuff on the Zoom calls. So
what happens on the Zoom stays on the Zoom.
Oh yeah.
Lottie's like true story.
Like true story. Yeah.
Yes. You know, we're very glad that you all joined us, and thank you very much for joining us for all of our programming. We wouldn't do this if it was not a labor of love, and we do this for all of you. So thank you very much. So from Skip, and from Skip, may the Skip be with you. This is the Skip.
May the Force be with you.
Where are we at?